Kia ora homa. So today is a special episode. This is the beginning of a brand new chapter in the channel, and this is called Mr. Ashley Wonders. Now these are the things that kind of go around in my head, and I often have these strange wonderings, and I'm going to try and pursue the answers and find out the answers to these questions, and then I'm going to feed them back to you and tell you what I've found. So today is a bit of a weird one, and it's something I thought of while driving home in my car. Why are all wing mirrors on modern cars the same? Why do they have a funny little upsweep on them? And we're going to have a look at some photos, and I'm going to talk you through what I've been able to find out. Okay, so stick around, and I hope you enjoy the new title sequence, and I'll see you in the video.
Ow! My skull sausage hurts!
So, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, I was driving home one day, and because that's how you drive. And I was wondering, while looking at my wing mirror, or into my wing mirror, why are all wing mirrors shaped in this particular design? Now, I'm really sorry about this drawing, especially to those people that design cars. This looks like a very sick amoeba. But basically, like, all wing mirrors have this very similar design, and I'll put a proper picture of it up. But they have like this elbow here where it goes onto the shoulder of the wing mirror. I'm not sure about all these technical terms that I'm using right now, but you get that. They all have that kind of shape where there's like a large gap always at the top. If you look at your wing mirror on your folks' car or someone else's car, or even your own car if you're an adult viewer, you'll see that the wing mirrors always have that shape where there's a dip and the arm that joins onto the car is on the lower side of the mirror, and it's always like that. And I wondered, why is that? So I did a little bit of research, and you've got to be really careful about how you Google things, more because it'll come up with a plethora of information, and you'll even get like the Wikipedia on wing mirrors because someone decided that they needed a Wikipedia on wing mirrors. Obviously it helped me because I read it, and it didn't answer some of my questions, but it did tell me some other stuff. But one of the things that goes into wing mirror design, especially over the course of modernization of cars and fuel efficiency and aerodynamics and stuff, is initially wing mirrors were there, obviously, so you could see in your rear vision, but they added to the aesthetic of the car. So they were more for the beauty and the styling and the look of the car, as opposed to the aerodynamic efficiency of the car. And so the reason why the modern wing mirrors all have that similar shape is because it has a lot to do with aerodynamics. Now, Chalmers University did a study on it, and that's where a lot of my source material comes from. And I'm going to put a link to it in the bottom of the description here, so you can have a look as well, because this was basically where I got the information that helped me answer my wondering about why are wing mirrors essentially the same. Now, they did a series of studies using wind tunnels and models, and also different models of wing mirror from different models of cars, which were all essentially the same, as I keep alluding to. But what they found that previously wing mirrors generally, especially in the olden days, would it be like a round wing mirror, and I'll put a picture of it, a round mirror with a stalk on it, and they would hold the wing mirror, and there was a certain element of aerodynamics, but they weren't stable, and they created a lot of vibration. So as you're driving along and you're trying to look in your wing mirror, the image reflected back at the car is jiggling around, so it makes it very hard to actually ascertain the distance of the following vehicle. And there's a lot of other problems with it, like I said, the aerodynamics, but also that they get wet and aren't able to drain water easily, and so the wing mirror gets covered in water, and it makes it hard to see what's actually in the wing mirror as well, and etc, etc, etc. So wing mirrors have that bottom, the bottom arm is attached to the wing mirror, so if I use my hands like that, it looks kind of like that, your wing mirror. And it's always really thick to help with the stabilization of the wing mirror, to support the wing mirror and reduce the lack of reduce vibration within the wing mirror and in the mirror itself, so you can actually have a stable image that you're able to look at. But it's also thin enough and shaped and molded enough that air is able to travel easily past it. And that comes to the second part of the wing mirror, where if I found out through reading this study that if the wing mirror is too close to the body of the car, it creates a lot more drag than as if it has that little gap. So that gap is there for a reason too. So the gap is there so that the air is able to easily travel past or between the mirror. So there's a lot of thought that's gone into this. They also, when I kept going through the study, they also looked at the height of the foot. So how, like I said before, the thickness of the actual, what they call the foot, or I was calling it the arm, but they call it the foot. The inclination, so how much the wing mirror actually is on an angle in toward the car. So how much it like curves into the car, or what angle it goes into the car. The radius of the glass in the mirror, and also I suppose you call the cowling or the molding of the actual mirror itself, and how much that affects the overall aerodynamics, and also the curvatures of the actual housing itself. So yeah, there's a lot of thought that goes into wing mirrors, more than I thought. And yes, they are all uniform, essentially, basically follow the same principle of design, but for the reasons that I've stated. One of the other things I found quite interesting is that some of them have gutters or gaps on the wing mirror, and that helps to suck or push or move water away from the glass itself. So like as I was talking about before, it doesn't get water all over it. And some glass is deeper set into the actual housing itself too, to prevent rain hitting it and it getting water on it, but also that it allows, if it does get wet, so like when you get up early in the morning, there's water in the mirror of the car, it actually is blown off. So I hope that's my question for me. If you've got a wondering of your own and you'd like me to try and research it and find out some answers, please put it in the comments below, because I have a million of these wonderings, and it's always interesting finding out the answers. I love looking for the answers to some of my questions. But if you like this video, hit like. If you want to subscribe to the channel in general, hit subscribe. This episode is part of the channel as a whole, so there's no separate channel. It's just another Mr. Ashley's Place video. And for now, it's ka kite, and I'll see you next time on Mr. Ashley's Place.